absolute shambles, lads and lasses. How's it going? It's the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United. United have just lost 2-0 to Paris Saint-Germain tonight in the Champions League. First leg, first knockout round in the Champions League. And we bottled it, man. It was a bit of a bottle job tonight, if I'm totally honest with you. I mean, we just didn't seem to have that same intensity, that same fire that we've had lately under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was a pretty tepid performance from United. And considering the build-up, considering all the positivity, the momentum behind us, Ole at the wheel, and all that, I was expecting a little bit more of a passionate and at least a performance that created a lot more than we did tonight. We were quite standoffish. It wasn't like the same intensity that we've had recently. And I just think that was our chance, basically. That's our chance gone to really get through to the next round of the Champions League. It's a big blow to our season, let's be honest now, because we all wanted to keep this trainer rolling and get through in the Champions League and progress to the latter stages. And it's been fantastic, though. Listen, I'm not criticising Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here. What I'm just saying is the lads, for whatever reason, they didn't turn up properly. It wasn't a good performance all round, individually, collectively, as a team. They just didn't show up. We did not show up. You know, as good as we've been lately, you wouldn't have really known it in that game today. And all credit to PSG. They showed their class today. They showed where they are one of the best teams in Europe right now, even without Neymar and Cavani. And that's the thing, though. They didn't have their star players, really. Okay, Mbappe's an incredible player. We saw that again tonight. He's incredible talent. We need to sign that lad up if we can. But even without those talents, they still were able to get the better of us. And that's poor, really, from United, because this was our chance to get that blow in across the tie. We're at home. PSG lacking those players. They're playing Dani Alves up top right wing. They're playing Marquinhos centre mid. And to be fair, he did have Paul Pogba in his pocket today. So it worked out. It was a good bit of tactical, genius from their man to play Marquinhos there tight on Pogba, kept Pogba out of the game. It's a gutter, man. We're shit, man. No, I'm joking. Listen, we've been so good lately that we had to lose a game eventually. The dream has to come to an end at some point. It's been a miracle. This has been nothing short of a miracle under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And let's not forget, PSG are a fantastic side. They showed that tonight. They were so solid. We didn't really create anything, but what we did create, they dealt with. The likes of Thiago Silva at the back there, that Kimpembe getting his first goal would have to be against us, wouldn't it? His first goal for PSG. Good, solid centre-back. And even Angel Di Maria having a hand in both the goals. It's sickening, lads. It's sickening. Of all the people, it's that Dobby Little Melter who has to have a hand in both the goals. You know, the first one with the crossing. And, of course, the second assist as well. I mean, why, Angel? You absolutely shit for us, though, weren't you? Apart from that first game where you chipped the keeper. Other than that, you were garbage, pal. Yet for PSG, you come back to Manchester and you're influential. Prick, mate. But fair play to PSG. They just outclassed us. They outplayed us. They're a better team than us at this moment in time. I know they're a better team than us. You know why? Because they've come to Old Trafford. We're on a serious run of momentum behind us. Confidence high. Players like Paul Pogba looking at the top of their game. Players like Martial looking incredible. But just not enough tonight for PSG. PSG too experienced, too solid, too quality. They've got a lot of quality throughout their side. And they did expose Manchester United at times tonight. Especially at the back there. We did go to sleep at times. I mean, we started the game reasonably well. First 10 to 15 minutes of the game, I was feeling pretty positive. But after that, we did dwindle off a little bit. We dwindled off. And second half, we didn't even turn up, really. It was quite poor. We started the game poorly, asleep, conceded again. And it's a big shame because we, of course, picked up a couple of key injuries today. Lingard going off. And it's a blow for Manchester United at the moment. Some of the, right now, based on the fixtures we've got coming up, if Lingard's going to be out for a little while. Martial. I mean, it's a bit of a kick in the bollocks, this game. It really is. It could have really cemented our resurgence from the shocking Mourinho days with this win, getting a good win in the first leg. But that's the thing. This tie's pretty much done. It's going to take some sort of epic comeback in the second leg in order to even get back into this game. They've got 2 away goals. We're climbing a serious mountain now. But if anybody could do it, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he is the super sub of managers right now. You see that he's coming. He saved our season. He did it for us as a player. He's doing it for us now. He's going to come on. He's going to pull on the red shirt in the second half of the second game there, and he's going to spang a couple of goals. You know it. He's registered himself. Anyway, I do think that We are still in the game, obviously. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that we go to Paris and we do get a positive result, and it could go our way. It's going to take a heck of an attacking performance in order to do that. But, based on the performance tonight, I think we're really going to struggle. I do. Even though the performance, it's not in keeping with how we've played recently, and maybe you could say this was just an off game. I just think they've got such quality. We are a team that is definitely in transition. We're improving. Maybe next season we'll be up to that standard. But right now they're just a little bit too seasoned. And experienced for this Manchester United side. Not to mention that Paul Pogba's not going to be in the next fixture in the second leg because he got sent off at the end of the game there. After a pretty quiet game. Everybody had a bit of a quiet game tonight from United. It was one of those games. So much in the build-up to this game, so much expectation, so much excitement, and it was actually a bit of a Victor dwindle off of a game. It just dwindled off, and PSG got the better of us. They showed that extra bit of quality. They showed why they are a contender perennially for the Champions League. And even though the League One, French League, it is a complete Le Mickey Mouse league, it's still... The top teams in that league are still very good. I mean, you don't sign a player for £196 million or whatever it was they paid for Neymar if you're not a really serious quality team. Not only that, some of the other players they've got in there, the likes of Thiago Silva, I thought was a boss today at the back there. Of course, they've got players like Di Maria, who we do know about, and unfortunately was a complete little Dobby Melter for us. But over there, he's actually a pretty good player. It's very annoying. He's some sort of a wizard over there for them. And today he showed that again. So, what can I say? It's gutting. We need to put this one behind us. Hopefully, we can somehow claw it back in the return leg or the fixture over in Paris. If we can do that, then maybe, just maybe, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will become the most legendary Manchester United manager ever. If he's got some pretty big shoes to fill, obviously. But if we can somehow get a positive result in the return leg, then I'm just going to think that he's even more of a miracle man. He's basically the second coming at this stage to me anyway. If he could somehow turn this around, then he would be even better. But everybody who's tuning in right now, thanks so much for stopping by on the channel. Do us a favor if you're tuned in. Smash a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new here. Do it for Zlatan. Put a like on the video for Zlatan. Zlatan is in the house now. I'm going to address the elephant in the room now, which is, look at the state of this thing on my head. Okay? Now, why did I do this, you say? Why did I ask? I actually put a poll on Twitter a couple of days ago just saying, what should I get? Because obviously, if you don't know, I said I'm not going to get my hair cut until Manchester United are back in the top four. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managed to do that for us in a very short space of time. So thankfully, my hair didn't get too long, but it's pretty long. It's long enough that there's actually a full-on sort of man bun thing going on the end of my head. But I did get the sides cut, or at least a mate of mine did it for me, bodged it really badly. But yeah, I was going to get the Paul Pogba, but there was just too much work involved with that one, man. So I decided to get the Zlatan. They call me Zlatan. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, right, I'm going to go back and I'm just going to read everyone's comments who's got in here now. I'll try and respond to as many of you who have tuned in as possible. Obviously, the note or the general feeling on this around this result is going to be pretty negative because we just lost 2-0 in the fixture that if we were going to get the better of PSG over the two legs, this was the one to really get at them at home with their two-star players missing up top there as well. This was a real opportunity for us to do that. So it's a big blow. So I want to hear what you guys think about it. See how negative you're feeling, or how positive you may be. Dude comments and says, Pogba red is a joke. And James Moscrop says, I know, ref was abysmal. The ref was an absolute tit, man. Breaking things up, yellow card and everybody. First half, it's like he's giving out a bunch of soft yellows. And then second half, obviously, he's given maybe some yellows that are justified. And then obviously, people got sent and stuff. And I just think he didn't have very good control of the game. He didn't allow the game to flow properly. Basically, the referee's a complete wanker. Do you know what I mean? Jay Robinson comments, bollocks. Way, hey, nice Barnet. Yeah, thanks very much. Let's see. I'm sure a lot of the comments are going to be about this monstrosity on my head anyway. I don't know if I'm going to keep this, by the way. It's supposed to be a little bit of a joke. It's a little bit of a joke. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's a joke. Anyway, I actually went out in public like this today. James comments, hey, pig, like your hair. Thank you very much. Dilly comments, the new Zlatan. The Music Fiend comments, what is this Gareth Bale do over here? Right, lads, okay, we get it. Let's talk about Manchester United now. Anyway, James comments, Lat Pig. Our King's comments, it's your hair, it's bad luck, get the hat back. Fair enough, you might be right, mate. You know, this is the first time that I've been without the hat. And of course, Manchester United do lose. RKO Khan comments, is this Zlatan speaking? We needed you tonight. This is Zlatan. If we had Zlatan tonight, we would win 5-0. Not very good at doing the old Zlatan. Don't judge, hate me. Commenter says, nope, little Mbappe want to win titles. Oh! Harsh, mate. That's obviously in response to me saying we should sign him. Well, we absolutely should sign him. Listen, United are one of the most winningest sides in world football now. Let's not forget that. Just in recent history, you may have had a little bit of a fall-off, a little bit of a blip, a little bit of a ginger goblin hangover, a little bit of a Louis van Gaal freaking lingerer, and then, of course, we're just getting over the recent Mr. Bean that's just left. But now United are positive again. We have a man in charge who holds himself in the right way that you would like the manager of Manchester United to hold himself. He understands the football club, obviously having played for the best manager ever in United's history and been ridiculously successful. And he just gets the club. We are certainly in a positive forward motion at the moment. We're going forward. Things are getting better for us with a couple of key signings in the summer, a bit more belief in the side, a little bit more time for that coaching staff that seems to be working wonders to work even more wonders. And this United side could be back to where we should rightfully be, which is challenging for everything. And players like Kylian Mbappe would be lucky to pull on that red shirt and play for the side of Manchester United, because let's not forget, even though right now we may not be, we are still one of the very best football clubs in all the history of football clubs. So let's not get too carried away now, okay? Yeah, that's right. D-Train comments says, outclassed, outplayed, outcoached. We've got a lot to learn. The yellow and red cards were abysmal. Carry on, Reds. I love you regardless. Good comment there, man. Fair play. I mean, Ollie's not expected to get it all bang on right now, is he? I mean, it's been an incredible run, but coming up against PSG, who are great, who are experienced, obviously do have a good technically astute manager. You can see that by how he's chopped and changed the side today, and still it's been effective. Still, it's closed us down. Still, Pogba's been had by Marquinhos in the middle of the park, who's a defender. So he did some very good things tonight, I have to say, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done some incredible things lately, but tonight just got it wrong, I would say. Just got it wrong. If the intensity of the side is anything to go by, maybe he set us up slightly less forward thinking, slightly less intense today, because it seemed like it by the lack of creativity going forward. But then, like I said, we are coming up against a great side, and that does make a big difference. It's all well and good playing these Bournemouths and stuff like that, which are very good sides, but they're not to the same quality. They don't have the same players in. So it's just a lot more difficult to break down. It's a lot more difficult to attack against her. We got balls into the box. Thiago Silva's clearing them all away. So, it's very difficult for us at the moment for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come in and just be able to best a team like PSG at this moment in time in the Champions League. It would have been a dream if we could do it. We can still do it. We are still in this, of course. It's just pretty unlikely that we'll be able to do it based on the performance tonight by both sides. Credit to PSG. Any Frenchies tuning in right now, bonjour to you. And I must say that I think that PSG were pretty damn good tonight. They showed their extra quality. They did outclass us, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it. And United do have a massive uphill struggle in order to try and match that quality that they showed tonight in the return leg in Paris. I don't see it happening, but stranger things have happened. United have always come back from adversity. We've always been the comeback kings, especially with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer involved in some capacity. So just calm down. We're still in it. Even if we do lose, even if we do drop out the Champions League, we've still had an incredible run just to get back in the top four. And right now, for Ole Gunnar, I say give him the job permanently anyway, but it's a complete salvage operation for him. He's basically salvaged us already, but of course we've still got the remainder of the season left. He has to get us into top four. It's been an incredible run. He can do that. We've got the best form in the league. We would be top if the league started when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer started. So I have faith that he's going to do that. This is not how I'm judging him as a manager. It's not how I'm judging him as a coach. This is a bonus game, really. Even though we're in it, we want to win it. They're a great team. They're experienced. They showed that tonight. It's always going to be a difficult fixture for us. Now it's an incredibly difficult fixture, but as long as we can get top four, it would have been a great season. It would have been a great season considering how shite the first half of the season was under that Portuguese Mr. Bean chap. Since he's gone, it's been a complete breath of fresh air. Ole Gunnar is firmly at the wheel, and boy, how good does it feel? It does feel very good. The positivity's back at the United. We are approaching games in a better fashion, better technically, better tactically, all that sort of stuff. But okay, tonight maybe we didn't quite get it right, and maybe the players just weren't quite up to it for whatever reason tonight. Didn't have the same intensity, but the opposition has a big part to play in that. Paul Pogba, quiet. But a lot of the people were quiet in this game. And of course, next fixture against them, we do not have Paul Pogba. Man United Van Cam, that's Kev Ashford in the house, comment Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I love it. Or you could have gone for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. That would have also worked. Thank you very much for stopping by there, Kevin. Good to see you. I will be sending you a message after this video, actually, mate. Sorry, I've been meaning to do that. Hope you're good. iPod E24, I'm not going to read your comment, but no, I've never done that. And he's talking about something that happened in the first episode of Black Mirror, by the way. Don't watch that episode. Ginger Greek comments and says, after the second leg, you're all going to be crying Ole out. I don't think I am Ginger Greek, and what I have to say to you is, Iama ini ivramunde exikronon. Okay? Anyway, but no, I don't think that's going to be happening at all. Like I say, this is a bonus game. He's done an incredible job to get us back to where we are, and I find that an insult, Ginger Greek. Okay, I find it an insult that you would even say that. We're not going to be crying for that because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets United. He's a United man, and he's got between now and the end of the season. Really, I say give it to him now, based on how he's done. But now at the end of the season, to really impress, really cement his position as Manchester United manager. He's a young coach. He's an inexperienced coach. Really, he's had a couple of jobs. He's going to learn as he goes in some regard, but he's at the best place to do that in the sense that it's a great club that he loves and he knows all about. And I think that he's the right man for the job, at least for the short term. Absolutely, he's the right man for the job. So we're not going to be calling for him to be sacked if we do lose to PSG, which is looking like we will. Not at all. He's done an incredible job. This isn't some Mr. Bean who's had 3 years and £300 million. No, he's come in when United are at an all-time low, basically, where the players are absolutely in turmoil. We're playing garbage football. We've got some Mr. Bean clown in charge, and he's come in and he has turned us right around. So nobody's going to be calling for that anyway. I know you're just being pedantic over there, pal, but it's true. Prog for Prog comments, reality check for us today. You're absolutely right, Prog for Prog. PSG just showed a little bit of extra class. We couldn't quite match them. Wasn't a good performance from us anyway. Maybe if we had come with our full intensity and our best performance and players individually and collectively performed, then we could have really gone for it. But it just wasn't to be our day today. They showed a little bit of extra quality and they did the number on us, basically. It was gutting. Faris Jahari comments, when Sanchez came in, there would be no attacking. Pogba red carded in area. Sanchez should control of. Fair play to you, Faris. I mean, what I would say about Alexis Sanchez is he's this player with this amazing reputation who was absolutely incredible at Arsenal, ripping up the Premier League. And he's not lived up to an ounce of that at Manchester United. Most of the players since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have actually shown a real marked improvement compared to what they were doing under Mourinho, like Paul Pogba or like Rashford. They've been given more opportunities, playing a bit more freely, and it's shown out there with the performances that they've had. But Alexis Sanchez, although in 1 or 2 games he has looked decent, he's not had that many opportunities. But out of all the players, really, he's one of those ones that doesn't look to have really stepped up his game that much. And you're right, when he did come on, it's like we didn't really create a lot through him. He didn't really do anything. So I'm a bit worried about Alexis Sanchez because he's one of these players that should be one of the best players in the world. He's still only 30 or 31. He's still a young lad, really. In football in terms. He's got a good few years left at the top level, but he certainly needs to find himself. He needs to find his form. He needs to start playing consistently and performing. I agree with you, though. He doesn't really give us that much. It's a shame that we did have the injuries, because if we didn't, maybe we could have created a bit more. Tiddly Middly comments, without Pogba, just forget about it. Well, I mean, Pogba tonight wasn't absolutely amazing, to be fair. I know he has been recently, and of course he's going to be a big loss in the return game, because that's the sort of game he would be absolutely epic in a return in Paris. He would just rise to the occasion. I think he would anyway. And but unfortunately for us tonight, he didn't turn up to his highest level. But I'm not criticising Pogba too much tonight. I just think generally the whole team didn't play that well. Of course, David De Gea is solid as ever, but other than that, nobody really covered themselves in any sort of glory tonight. Armino and Boss comments and says, do you like Lindelof? I must say that I do like Lindelof. When he first came in for a good while, I didn't really like him as a player. I just thought he was too error prone and didn't really understand the pacing or how the Premier League really works. But obviously, it does take time for a player to adapt and the physicality of the league and everything like that. And I think he's certainly this season and certainly since Ole Gunnar's come in, he has looked very good indeed. Even before Ole Gunnar come in, he's one of those most improved in players at United over the last season or so. And I still think he's got the potential to be a quality player. So for me, I do like him. Do I think he's ever going to be that Vidic or that Rio or whatever for us? I'm not so convinced, but I still think he can be a very, very good defender for us. That's basically how I'm going to answer that one. Very diplomatic. Alex O'Donnell, how's it going, Alex? He comments and he says, what we've seen tonight is that we are a mile away from competing at the top level. I'm going to have to agree with you there. I think Ollie's not really had the time. It's not like we've had a real consistent run now where for a year or so we're just an absolute Goliath where we're really consistently performing. We've had a real upturn in form since he's come in, but there's still, we were miles off before, and we still are, like you say, a mile away from competing with the likes of PSG at this moment in time. And I think it would maybe be the same if we'd have played a top team like Madrid or, maybe Juventus again. I mean, we did see earlier on in the Champions League campaign, different time, we had Mourinho in charge, that the first game that we played at Old Trafford, they came away and it was sort of like a real outclassing again, almost reminiscent of this one, because they totally outclassed us. We didn't create an awful lot. They didn't create an awful lot, really, but still what they did create was enough to get the job done, and they beat us and they showed quality and we didn't really have a sniff. It sort of happened again tonight. Of course, it's slightly different because we lost 2-0 tonight, and of course, in the return fixture in Turin, we did actually get the win 2-1. I think it was, got a late winner. So, football's a funny old game. It really is. Just before I get onto anything else and any more comments, I just want to say a quick word for the passing of Gordon Banks, who was an absolute hero of mine. I was a goalie growing up, and he was an absolute hero. My dad used to tell me stories about the legendary saves of Gordon Banks when I was a wee nipper, and show me videos, footage, and all this stuff, World Cup finals and all that stuff. So, to me, it's a sad day. I'm sure it is to a lot of people in the footballing community, because he was just a true gentleman of the game. He was one of these nice blokes, one of the nice guys. He's had a good old life. 81 is a good age. I would be happy to get to 81, but still, it's very sad when anybody passes, especially somebody who was so humble, so gentlemanly, and who was such a quality player and did a lot for English football as well. At the time, he was considered the best goalkeeper in the world. He's still considered one of the best English goalkeepers ever. And just rest in peace, Gordon Banks, a true, absolute English gentleman and a true footballing legend. We've got a super chat here from Alex Rudd. How's it going, Alex Rudd? Thanks for stopping by and commenting on my cheeky Instagram post earlier as well of me with the old pineapple on my head. It is Zlatan. This is not the Flying Pig anymore. I have taken over his channel. From now on, it is called Flying Lion United. Thank you so much for stopping by there, as ever, Alex Rudd, with your super chat there. And he says, you guys have one job now: beat Liverpool. Absolutely, Alex. If we could do that, I mean, that would just basically just make everything right again. That would just make everything rosy, wouldn't it? If we could just stop the Scousers from winning the Premier League, that should be priority one now. Everybody needs to pull together and do everything we can just to make sure that the Scousers do not win the Premier League. That's the last thing that can happen. I mean, it's a strange time for United fans to want City to win the league. But if it stops those Scousers winning it after 30 years, by God almighty, I hope they do it. But you never know, with the form that we're showing, with Ole Gunnar at the wheel, we could just go on and lift that trophy ourselves. Everybody who's tuning in, lots of comments coming in. I can't read them all, but I love you so much for getting involved in commenting. Let me know, just before I go quickly, your final thoughts on the performance and your final thoughts on the situation at Manchester United. How much better is it, though, than it was? Don't care that we've lost to PSG. I mean, obviously, I do care. It's not like I'm anti-taking it and I don't care. But it doesn't mean anything to me in the sense that we are going forward. We are getting in the top four. We are improving. We do have a man at the helm who's quality. And this was always going to be a very difficult challenge for us. Ole Gunnar, it was always going to come a game where we just couldn't get the best of our opposition, or we couldn't even get a draw. This is his first loss, of course. I haven't even talked about that. It's Ole Gunnar's first loss as Manchester United manager. It's come up against a really quality PSG side. It's no disgrace. That's all I'm saying. They're a good team. It's a very difficult fixture, even at home, to get the better of PSG with the quality they have. Even though they don't have Neymar and they don't have Cavani. Oh, we've bottle jobbed it, lads. We should have done the number on them tonight. This was our opportunity. It's not like we're going to go there and do it, is it? We should have done it tonight. Wally Gunnar Solskjaer at it again. I'm joking. Right, Premier League comments, pathetic performance. Well, I can actually sort of see where you're coming from. Because we lost 2-0, we got outclassed, and we never really went for it. You know, and that we can't say that lately of the performances of the side. We've been very good. We've been intense. We've been going for it, full of fire, full of beans up top there. But tonight, it's just like we had those Mourinho cojones a little bit. You know, there was a little bit of Mourinho cojones hanging over from his time at Manchester United, because it sort of seemed like it was a little bit of a Mourinho-esque performance at times. It was. I hate to say that. It was a little bit slower. It was a little bit less intense. There was not so much pressing up the pitch, and we just allowed them to play a little bit more football than we would have liked. So yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. Everybody who's watching this video right now, do us a favour, smash a like on it before you go. You know it makes sense. If you happen to be new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button and click that little bell to be kept up to date with upcoming videos, upcoming content, random stuff to do with United, football and pigs. Man United Van Cam, Kevin Ashford in the house once again comments, how good was Mbappe quality? I must say, Kevin, I thought he was absolutely out of this world. That counter-attack, that pace for the goal, I mean, it's incredible. He's got incredible pace. He's literally like a 100-metre sprinter out there at times. He just does everyone. And considering United do have quite pacey players in there, I mean, he made Young look like an old man today. And he is sort of an old man in football in terms, but he's still one of those players that did have a bit of pace in his day. And Mbappe's just flown by him numerous times tonight. Also, you know, players like Luke Shaw, they've got a lot of pace really. But Mbappe is on a different level. He's got so much pace, quality as well. He's so young. It's not just like he's a runner. I'm not saying that. He has got absolute technical ability for days, on top of being an incredible pace merchant. It's a very, very amazing combination, Kevin, to be fair. And he is a player that I covet for Manchester United. I definitely am jealous of PSG for having a player of that quality. We should have signed him up years ago. There was talk about it at one point when he was like 17. We should have done it, shouldn't we? Based on how awesome he has been. He looks so good. That's another player that we've got to worry about in the return leg. I mean, I don't really know the status of Cavani and Neymar, but obviously they weren't available tonight. And but Mbappe, you've got Mbappe in this side with that pace and that finishing ability and that quality. He's going to cause you problems whoever you are. So I'm pretty worried about him. He is definitely a quality player. Hoffer 41 comments, comeback kings, question mark? Not recent years, to be honest. Well, over the history of Manchester United, we're absolute comeback kings. Munich air disaster, 1958, 10 years later, pretty much almost to the day, European Cup winners. 99 Champions League final, come back 2-1 by Munich, and Solskjaer's won it. All that. Okay, recently I hear what you're saying, but still, in the game against Burnley, we went 2 goals down. We've clawed our way back into it. I know there's a big difference between Burnley and PSG. Earlier on in the season, under Mourinho, the Newcastle game where we're down and out, we clawed our way back into it. We have had some comebacks lately. It's not like we haven't, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's not like the Fergie days with Fergie time where we'd always score late in the games. So I hear you. But that is how it should be. Rax Cho comments, Zlatan, I didn't know you took over this channel. Get with the times. It's his Zlatan channel now. It is time for Zlatan. This is Flying Lion United. Welcome. I just for some reason go like this when I'm pretending to be Zlatan. It makes me look more like Zlatan. Oh, crikey. This is cringe. Anyway, I don't know. It's all going all straggly. Look, check it out. It's a shocker. I don't think it suits me, lads. I'm going to be honest with you. I did it for a bit of a joke. And, you know, come on. I can't pull this off, can I? Anyway. Right, guys, I think I'm going to pretty much wrap it up. I've really enjoyed talking to everybody who's got involved with the live stream tonight. And like I say, if I haven't read out your comment, if I haven't responded to you, I do apologise. I try and read out lots of comments, as many as I can. Try to keep these match reactions to about half an hour. I'll just read this out actually before I go because I just stumbled across it. And how could I not? It's Alex Rincon with a cheeky super chat. And he comments and he says, we all knew we weren't winning the Champions League. Let's just focus on top four and FA Cup. Big investments needed in the summer. Replace Mata and Alexis. Need better squad players. Hold your horses there, Alex, okay? Replace Mata? What's wrong with Mata? Okay, Alexis, I can see we don't like... But Mata is quality, man. He's one of our most consistent performers, man. Come on. Anyway. But let's go back and talk about the rest of your comments. So you say we know we weren't winning the Champions League. I agree. I think we're coming up against quality opposition. It's a big step up in quality, really, from the Premier League. And even though we've played Spurs and some other quality teams in the league, it's not like we caught them on their best day. And we didn't necessarily catch PSG on their best day today, but we certainly weren't at the races. And they do have extra quality. They do have the experience. They do have that ability in the Champions League where they are used to playing at that level. They're used to going away. They're used to coming up against teams with quality, and they often do very, very well. We're not so used to that at the moment. We are inconsistent over the last season, and it showed tonight. We've got a lot of work to do. Ollie's got a lot of work to do. We are some way off being a top side. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, we were one of the best sides in the world consistently for years. Absolutely. In Europe, you come up against any team. Yeah, we might not win them all, but you expected us to give it a really good go of it. We're some way off that right now because it is a transitional period. We've got a temporary manager in charge right now. I say give him the job, but he's temporary. Let's not forget that. And of course, he's got a lot of wonders to work at Manchester United to improve us, to get us to that point where we can be considered one of those top European sides again. But we've got so much work to do. And I think we need to improve a bit of the personnel and maybe do move a couple of players on, but also improve certainly quality at the back. I know we've got Lindelof and Bailey and Jones and Smalling at the back there. And yeah, Lindelof and Bailey look good, but I still would love us to go out there and sign a real worldie of a centre-back. I just think the personnel we've got in there, it's not far off. Attacking-wise, we're fantastic. Midfield-wise, I think we're very good. But defensively, I do think we have got some room for improvement. Hopefully, Dallow's going to come on and be a quality player, but he's still very young. We've got Youngie and Valencia aging. I know Youngie's just on a new contract. But I do think we've got some improvements to make before we get to that point. And of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Mike Phelan, Michael Carrick, these lads, they've worked wonders. They've had such a short time in order to do it. And they've done it to about as good a amount as they could, which is to completely turn us around, to win 10 games out of 12 and draw one and lose one, the one being against PSG, which are a very good team. It's freaking unbelievable, the work that these lads have done. And surely with more time and a bit of money and investment and maybe a little bit of a permanent position, a little bit more solidity and stability in the job, that they know that they're going to get the job and move on and have time to work, maybe you will see a big improvement from Manchester United. Mark Sin comments, pig, that hair, nice. Are you serious, Mark? Thank you very much. Pokes comments, is that a man bun? I hate to say it, but it is. It is a man bun, okay? Basically got a pineapple on my head. But if Zlatan can pull it off, I figure I could pull it off. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm not sure if I can. Anyway. Right, guys, I love you all. Thanks so much, Alex Rincon, for your last super chat there. Much appreciated. Oh, crikey, the super chats keep coming in now just when I'm about to do one. It's like everybody keeps sending them in just I've got to go. You've got me to keep talking. Gungshi, how you doing, Gungshi? Nice to see you on the channel, mate. Not that I wouldn't read out any of you commoners' regular messages before I go. It's just that this flashed up big orange box there. So I've got to read it. Do you know what I mean? Gungshi, he says, rat-faced goblin Di Maria can do one. I mean, he's such a little dobby-looking fellow, isn't he? Seriously. I mean... it's typical because he was such a shite player for us. He cost a lot of money. He came in, he had a big reputation. He was quality for Madrid over there. Assists. Come over to United, started okay, and then just melted. And then he did one at the first available opportunity, and we basically cashed in because he was shite for us. So I've got no respect for that man. And then what? Guess what? He comes to Old Trafford and he gets 2 assists. It's a nightmare, isn't it? I mean, typical of that man to get the assists. Good to see you, Gungshi. Hope you're feeling well, pal. Thanks so much for your super chat and stopping by there, man. Really do appreciate you always tuning in and getting involved. Gungshi says, love the samurai man bun pig. That's right. If only I had the sword to go with it. Do you know what I mean? Oh, crikey. Theo Knight handstand comments with a super chat and says, flying pig. PSG think they'd won. Think about it. What? What does that mean? PSG think they'd won. Think about it. Oh, okay. I don't really know what you mean. I mean, they did win, so I would imagine they did think that they won. So that's me thinking about it and saying it out loud. I don't get it, Theo. I don't get it. But in all honesty, I mean, maybe you're saying they think that they've already won the tie. Okay, maybe that's what you're saying. And maybe they have already won the tie, because based on how good they were and how little we had to match them tonight, even with the momentum behind us, I think they'll probably manage to pull it off in the second leg at home. But it's not over yet, you know. It's definitely not over. United, this is just United rope-a-doping them, isn't it? We've lulled them into a false sense of security, and we're just going to unleash hell upon them in Paris. Crossers 101 comments, is that a man bun, mate? Yes, it is, Crossers 101. It is a man bun, okay? MUFC Matt comments, why you got that hair? Well, basically, I've got that hair because, well, I don't really know, actually. I basically said that I would get my hair cut when we got in the top four. We did get in the top four, and I've sort of done this. I did a poll on Twitter with Pogba, De Gea, Smalling, and Luke Shaw as the options. Who should I get my hair cut like? And I didn't choose any of them. So there you go, everybody who voted in that. Thanks very much for your futile click. Oh, you're a bunch of legends. Right, I'm going now. Everybody who's said about my hair, thanks for stopping by and commenting on it. Everybody who's come in and interacted with this channel, thanks so much for doing so. It really does mean a lot to me. I really enjoy doing these videos, so keep doing it. Keep coming by, keep commenting, keep getting involved in the live streams like this. Sorry for if I didn't read out your comments, as I say. I'll try to read out as many as I can. But do us a favour. Come back in a few minutes once this has been published. Comment permanently, and I'll respond to them via text form. Just going to do a few shout-outs at the end here. Gungshi comments, Latan Pig. Always a pleasure, Gungshi. Thanks so much for stopping by. You're a legend. Alex Rudd, Alex Rincon, James Moscrop, James Arnold, that 40k night bloke. Anybody else who got involved with this video, you're a bunch of legends. Few people at the end here who want a cheeky shout-out. Alcan Mammoot, Alf Delling, Skills, Scott Temmie, William, Alk and Mammoot. Again, you get two shouts outs. James Melia and Hypera. There you go, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by on the channel. This is probably the most upbeat and positive you're ever going to see me after a 2-0 defeat. And the reason for that is, I think Ollie's done tremendous. This was always going to be a big game against PSG. They're a quality side. They show we are a little bit of way off. I always knew we were a little bit of a way off because we just don't quite have the starting 11 really to match some of the best teams in Europe. We've got certainly 7 or 8 players that can, but we're lacking in certain areas. I think it's not very long that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and co have had to really work their wonders, although they have certainly done that. And with time, with investment, we can quickly get back to being the Manchester United that we all know we are capable of being. But we are still a considerable way off, as this game tonight showed. But there we have it. Ollie's still at the wheel. Everything still is good at United. We're going in the right direction at least. FA Cup, Premier League, these should be our priorities. The Champions League, of course, it would have been nice to progress. Maybe we still can. But I'm not so sure if it's realistic that we can do that based on the first game. We've got Kyle Fury in the house, my moderator from another mother. How you doing? Haven't seen you for a while, Kyle. Hope you're doing well. I need to add Alex Rudd as another moderator as well. But Kyle, Pig, you're going to keep your hair like that for a long time. There's a lot of interest in this hair tonight. I'm going to be honest with you, Kyle, probably not, mate. Why? Why do you want to know that? Does it offend you? Does my hair offend you, Kyle? Anyway, right, I'm going to leave it there. Everybody who has tuned into this Match Reaction Live, thanks so much for stopping by. Smash a like on this video before you go. Do us a favour. Please give it a share on social media if you're that way inclined. It would mean a lot to me to do so. And come back next time for my breakdown of Manchester United's next fixture. We need to bounce back. Ollie is at the wheel. It doesn't feel good tonight, but overall it feels absolutely freaking fantastic compared to how it was a little while ago. Manchester United, we are on the way to being back, but we're not quite back yet. Tonight showed that. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. As I say, come back once this video is finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in permanently. Do us a favor, follow us on social media. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm going to start posting more stuff to Instagram. So please do go over there and give us a follow. Facebook, Twitter, as always. Thanks so much for everybody who's tuned into this video. Have yourselves a good evening. I'll see you very, very soon. And this is Zlatan Ibrahimovic And tonight, United didn't play like lions. Tonight, they didn't play like lions. But next time, in Paris, we will play like lions. Who the hell was that? Anyway, I'll see you soon. Take it easy. This is the Big